the How Not to Sail Minute. So in my book, How Not to Sail, I mentioned what I understood was the smallest sailboat ever to cross the Atlantic, and I said it was the Giltspur, sailed by Tom McLean. Now, Tom is quite a guy, from his time in the British Parachute Regiment and SAS, to being the first man to row across the Atlantic, to sailing the 9-foot 9-inch Giltspur across the Atlantic, to then taking a chainsaw to the Giltspur and sailing the now 7-foot 9-inch Giltspur across the Atlantic, to crossing the Atlantic in a 37-foot bottle-shaped vessel, to circumnavigating Britain in a boat shaped like a giant whale. However, Tom McLean is not the record holder for the smallest sailboat crossing of the Atlantic, because 14 years before Tom made his first crossing in Giltspur, Hugo Whelan crossed from Casablanca to Florida in his vessel April Fool, all of 5 feet 11 inches in length. This record stood until 1993, when Tom McNally briefly held it with his boat Verahue, until Hugo reclaimed the record with his boat Father's Day at 5 feet 4 inches long. And that record still stands today, as far as I know. And if you're thinking of trying to break it, you're going to need a really small boat. Don't forget, for everything How Not to Sail, just go to HowNotToSail.com.